Imagine this. You're on the ultimate road trip with your best friends, exploring the stunning raw beauty of Ladakh. The mountains are majestic, the air is crisp, and the freedom is intoxicating. But what if that dream trip turned into a real-life nightmare? This is a story that might make you think twice about picking up a stranger on a lonely mountain road. Last year, for friends let's call them Rohan, Samir, Priya, and 80 packed their bags and set off for an adventure they'd been planning for months. The journey started just as you'd expect. Loud music, endless laughter, and breathtaking views at every turn. They were cruising through the remote mountain passes of Ladakh, surrounded by a vast, beautiful emptiness. The road stretched for miles, with nothing but towering peaks on either side. The wind howled outside, a constant, chilling reminder of how isolated they were. There was no phone signal, no sign of civilization for hours. Just them, their car, and the profound silence of the Himalayas. Everything was perfect. Until it wasn't. As they were navigating a particularly desolate stretch, they saw something strange up ahead. A lone figure, standing by the side of the road, waving frantically for help. It was odd. Who would be out here, all alone, miles from anywhere? Against their better judgment, they decided to slow down. As they got closer, they could see it was a man, looking distressed. But there was something unsettling about his eyes, something that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. They exchanged uneasy glances. Should they stop? Before they could decide, their car's engine sputtered and died. Just like that. Dead, in the middle of nowhere. Coincidence? Maybe. They tried to restart it, but nothing happened. The man outside kept staring at them, his wave turning into a slow, deliberate, beckoning motion. A cold dread began to creep into the car. They locked the doors and decided to wait. After a few minutes that felt like an eternity, the man simply turned and walked away, disappearing into the rocky terrain as if he was never there. Shaken, Rohan tried the ignition one more time, and to their astonishment, the engine roared back to life. They didn't wait for a second invitation. They sped away, leaving the strange encounter behind them. But the weirdness was far from over. As dusk began to settle, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, a thick, unnatural fog rolled in, swallowing the road ahead. Visibility dropped to almost zero. Their GPS, which had been reliable until now, started glitching, showing them a route that didn't exist on any map. Then, a faint sound started crackling through the radio net music. Not static, but what sounded like whispers. Just on the edge of hearing. They couldn't make out the words, but the tone sent shivers down their spines. Suddenly, with a loud bang, their car broke down again, this time for good. They were stranded near what looked like an old, abandoned army post. The silence outside was now deafening, broken only by the whistling wind. Needing to figure out what was wrong, Aditya and Samir got out with flashlights to check the engine. As they circled the vehicle, their flashlight beams caught something in the dirt. Footprints, lots of them, all around the car, but they weren't normal. They were too large, too misshapen to be human. Priya, still inside the car, screamed. Rohan turned to see her pointing a trembling finger into the darkness. "There's someone over there," she whispered, her voice shaking. "I saw someone standing by the post." Rohan and Samir looked, but there was nothing. Just the crumbling walls of the abandoned structure against the dark sky. They tried to calm her down, thinking it was just her nerves playing tricks on her. But then they realized something. Where was Aditya? He had been right behind Samir just a moment ago. They called his name. Silence. They called again, louder this time. The only reply was the echo of their own panicked voices. A frantic search began. They swept their flashlight beams across the barren landscape, their hearts pounding in their chests. They found him huddled behind a large boulder, his face pale with terror. He was shaking uncontrollably. "Did you hear that?" he stammered. "Someone was calling my name." From the darkness, it sounded like my mother. His mother had passed away years ago. That was it. They had to get out of there, car or no car. They grabbed their most essential belongings and decided to walk, hoping to find help. But as they looked back down the road they came from, it seemed, different. Unfamiliar, as if the very landscape was shifting around them. Just when they were about to lose all hope, they saw a pair of headlights approaching in the distance. It was an army truck on patrol. They flagged it down, relief washing over them like a tidal wave. They scrambled into the back, rambling on about the breakdown, the strange man, the abandoned post, and their missing friend, who suddenly reappeared. The soldier driving listened patiently. When they finished, he looked at them in the rearview mirror, his expression grim. "You were lucky," he said in a low, serious voice. "You shouldn't have stopped there." He paused, then added the words that would haunt them forever. "That post has been abandoned since a blizzard in 1999. No one has been stationed there for over 20 years. The friends made it back to civilization, but the experience left a permanent scar. Aditya was never quite the same. He became withdrawn, quiet, and haunted by the voice he heard in the dark. The trip was over, but the horror wasn't. A few weeks later, while looking through the photos from their trip, Priya found one that made her blood run cold. It was a group picture they had taken at one of the scenic viewpoints early in their journey. The four of them were smiling, happy, and carefree. But in the background, standing partially hidden behind a rock, was a fifth person, a faint, shadowy figure they didn't recognize and couldn't explain. Someone none of them remembered ever being there. So, if you ever find yourself on a lonely road in the Himalayas and see someone waving for help, just keep driving. Some stories are more than just stories. Thanks for listening. If this story gave you the chills, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tallies from the dark side of travel. Stay safe out there.